coming down to one critical play. What is the team been doing, but with special teams? What have you guys been doing to work on the players to get into a mindset for that one critical play you were talking about?
Well, first of all, if you come out to practice, you'll see the intensity of everything we do is extremely high. We try to match the intensity of the game in practice. Even if we're doing a drill, it's got to be at a very, very high intensity. And then the second thing is we incorporate situations. So we'll work different situations in terms of, like we had a drill the other day, we're doing kickoff return. And it could be that they get a surprise onside kick, could be they get a pooch, a squib. Whatever might happen in the game, we got to prepare for that. So we try to match the intensity and then prepare for any situation.
And are those type of moments something you expect to happen throughout the season?
Oh, you have to. Yeah, you have to. The worst thing you want to do is be caught off guard for anything that could happen. It's my job ultimately to prepare the guys to go out there and execute and give them every single opportunity to do that in practice. And when they get to the game, it's just like practice. And so that's the way we approach it.
When it comes to this Saturday with the scrimmage situation coming up, how are you approaching, looking at your different special teams units, different types of situations, and how is that environment on Saturday going to help determine some competition-based things for your units going forward?
Yeah, so one thing we're going to do on Saturday is we're going to incorporate our special teams into it just like a game, so if we get into a field goal situation, we're going to have a field goal right there, so it'll be mixed into the scrimmage. So that way those guys are really getting prepared when it's like, hey, third down, we're getting ready to go. We don't get, for whatever reason, fourth down, we're ready to go execute a field goal. So we try to match it into the scrimmage just like a game. The other thing we'll do in some stuff is we'll have a competition period where that is scripted. It'll be, our best versus our best. You might be doing a punt versus a punt return drill, and it's good on good. And so we try to match the intensity like I was talking about earlier, as well as incorporate some live work into the scrimmage.
And throughout the week, we've heard about how these players are excited to be playing for special teams. We've talked to wide receivers and running backs. How have you guys been keeping that workload balanced to where, hey, we got to work on special teams, but also work on their main position as well?
Yeah. So one thing I told the guys the first day is, everything we do is kind of drill based. Like I believe in drills. I believe a good drill, like, whatever skill you want them to have, there has to be a drill that addresses that. But the way we take care of them is if you go out there and watch our drills, they're 15, 20 yards. It's not like we're running full cover reps every single time. I don't want to do that. So I try to make sure that what we're doing, we're narrowing down the space of the drill, but we're still working on what we need to. So that's how we do it. And then we also make sure we're using our guys, in a smart way. We don't want to have a guy that's taking every single rep on defense, taking every single rep on special teams. There are guys that we can feel like we've got some depth, that we can use them in different ways. So it's a mixture of personnel and also being smart about what we're asking them to do in practice.
So one of the drills that I noticed that you guys are doing that, I've seen it a couple times, but not to the intensity level that it seemed like you guys are employing, and that is the tackling drills. I mean, it was intense, and you're stopping people and correcting them on their tackling, and it's a punter.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, I think this echoes kind of a long, winding question, but what I'm coming back to is what you said in the first time you talked to us, which is, special teams are going to be a huge part of this unit, and we haven't seen that at FAU. So
yeah, well, the main thing, like you're talking about the tackling stuff, like even today, our specialists, our punters, kickers, snappers, those guys are working on tackling today during practice. And the thing is, I want them to be prepared if they ever have to make that tackle. And the snappers, I expect them to make a lot of tackles. I want those guys down there in coverage. I want them. That's why we have great athletic snappers that can do that. But it goes back to I want my specialists to be football players. I want those guys to have the same, obviously a different skill set, but they got to be ready to make a tackle if it comes to them. I expect them to be able to do that. And then with the rest of our guys, offensive guys have got to know how to tackle. We can't just have our defensive guys take all the reps on all the kickoffs, all the punts. So everyone's got to understand how to tackle. That's a fundamental that if you're a football player, you got to know that. And so we have to stress that. I have to coach it the right way. And in order to tackle, you have to have some intensity in the drill. That's how it's going to be in a game. So those are all the things we're working on there.
A lot is always made about the heat and humidity for the offense and defense, but when it comes to your units, right, especially the kicking and the punting, how does the weather affect how you guys approach things, and how are you building, reps and confidence in this weather that is going to translate to different types of game situations once you arrive to the regular season?
So for the guys that are playing on the units, like they're covering kicks or blocking or whatever, those guys are getting a sense of what it's going to be like in a game. When it comes to fourth down or a kickoff, they're going to just have done something. They're going to have a drive. They just got off a drive. If it's fourth down, we just got to stop. Whatever it is, they have to be ready to go when they're tired. That's part of it. You have to be able to go even when you're a little bit fatigued. So those guys are getting to practice that right now. They're in practice. They're getting reps on offense and defense, and then we're going to special teams. But I don't want the intensity to dip down. And then for our specialists, it's great practice. We're getting all sorts of stuff. The other day we had some wind in the afternoon, so they got to kick some balls with the wind. Obviously they have to have a plan for how they're going to approach that depending on what the wind's doing. Every morning we get out there, there's still some dew on the grass, the ball's a little bit wet. It's kind of like a rainy game. So they're getting all of those kinds of things, and I don't want that to ever be an excuse. And those guys know that. Like that's not an excuse. We prepared any sort of like situation weather-wise that we could get. So once again, that they're prepared when they go to the game.
Like, not many other people do, at least I think. I have very strict like diet regimen, workout regimen, sleep schedule, everything dialed to the point. I wear a Whoop, tells me my recovery, my sleep, all the data I need, whatever, to know, like, basically if the week before a game, like the last week before fall camp, if this is reading something off, I know basically by looking at the app what I need to do to get back on track and stay in the green and be ready. So I eat I don't eat many carbs, but I eat rice, chicken, steak, protein shakes. That's really it for the most part. And I eat the same thing every day. A lot of it's discipline. It took me a while to get to that, but it's definitely changed and improved my game like no other.
No
One of the
fruits and
things
vegetables? I'm sorry, no fruits and
no
vegetables?
Not really. I mean, I do. I eat them. If they're there, I eat them. I don't mind vegetables.
It's not your mainstay though.
No, definitely not my mainstay.
So you're, what do you call that? What is the word for that? High
Keto.
protein? Keto. So you're keto.
You could say that. I don't really have a name for it. I kind of just honestly found it on my own. It was about like 2 years ago. I told myself, I was like, I thought I had 2 years left. So I was like, okay, it's time to lock in. You got to do what you got to do. Leave all the other stuff out of it. And so it was actually January 1st. Everyone has New Year's resolutions and all that. And finally I was like, you know what? I'm gonna stop eating like this. I'm gonna stop drinking. I'm gonna stop this, and that. And I went about 3 weeks, really good. I caved in, and I was mad at myself. And finally, I looked at myself in the mirror. I told myself, I was like, "This will be the last time that it happens." And ever since then, I mean, I was at one point to 202 pounds, probably about 21% body fat. Not very good. Still kicking and punting fine, but just not what I wanted to be. And so that year from after that 3 week mark where I failed myself, from then to when I got to season, I got down to 169, 3% body fat, then started to put on the good weight. Because before it was all bad weight, didn't want it. And then eventually I got myself to a good area where I was about 5 to 7% body fat at 185 pounds, feeling myself again, feeling good, and I think it's really changed my game.
I asked Alex this the other day before these guys, and I'll ask the same question to you. You've been here for quite a few staffs, not to compare each staff, but just pick out one thing that you really enjoy about this staff and what it brings to the team.
They're inclusive. They include everybody. They want everybody to come and be on board, whether you're a young guy, new guy, old guy, whatever. They bring everybody along, and I think that has changed this team like tremendously from last year to this year. Not that they didn't do it last year, but it just wasn't the same. And this staff is unbelievable. I couldn't be more blessed. I'm so happy I stayed here too.
You mentioned inclusive, and I hit Coach up with this too. That it means that you guys are embedded into some of the things that the offense and the defense does during practice. Has that made it more inclusive for you guys, or do you just dread going out there and being a defensive lineman?
Oh, no. We have fun with it. We try to talk to the guys. They make a big play. Caden throws the ball in 7-on-7. Go dap them up. Any of the receivers, linebackers, whatever. Always just trying to be around those guys because we're, like you said, we're not around them like they are. So as much as we can be, we try to just get with them and really create like a good connection and a good bond together.
Questions?
How have you been with the evolution of punting in the college game? There's a lot more directional kicking. You've even done rugby style on occasion. Is that something you've had to evolve from once you came out of high school?
So coming out of high school, I really wasn't that big of a punter. Like I kind of just did it because it was the versatility to be good. And I learned it actually my sophomore year at Louisville. They wanted me to start to roll out. Never done it before, but being a soccer player, watching goalies, just watching people. I mean, you can take a lot from just watching people and just trying to mimic exactly what they do and all that. And so it came pretty easily just because I think the soccer background and just being able to see it and having somebody teach me like Matthew Hayball and Riley Thompson and them. That really is what developed me, but I wouldn't say it was too difficult, honestly. And I'm still working though. I'm not perfect, nowhere near it. So we're still improving on that stuff.
You talk about your mentality and your discipline, how you've really changed yourself for the better off the field. How has that really translated on the field to allow you to continuously improve and continuously take strides at your position?
I think a lot of it on the field is like confidence too. A lot of it is confidence. I mean, if you have confidence in yourself, you can do a lot of things. And that's the main thing is I just look at myself in the mirror. I'm like, okay, you're ready. Like you've done this. This is the things that you've done. You put yourself in the right position to be here. Now it's time to go do it. And that's it. It's just, you're there, go do it.
With the word confidence, you mentioned with yourself, but is there anyone else with the specialists that you're seeing some confidence around them as well?
All of them. All the guys got confidence. We have confidence in each other. No matter what, we believe in each other. That's just kind of how our room is. We have a great group of guys, honestly. For the most part, pretty new. Got some Nelms from Georgia Tech came in. He's doing a good job. Alex Grace is doing a great job, the young guy. And then Walker and Jackson, they're unbelievable. I've never been around or been on a team that has two snappers that are that good, honestly. And then Garrison, he's a vet. He comes in, he's ready to go. He knows what's going on. And so we just have, everyone believes in each other. And I think that's the biggest thing. Like we're an operation, a field goal operation, that's 3 people. It's not just one. So we have to believe in each other. And I think everyone has that belief and that confidence in each other to do their job. So there's really not too much of a worry when we're out there ever.